Well, friends, it's been a journey. It's been a trip, and it's been an awesome and amazing trip with all of you guys of the Watchmen community. There's going to be some big changes here, and one of the changes is not here. I'm going to talk about some of these changes, some of which I've talked about, and some of which I haven't yet, to those of you in the Watchmen community. I love you all. I want to address some of the concerns that have come up from the Watchmen community, some of the questions that you guys are asking. And so hopefully this video will answer all those questions and also have a little bit of a nostalgic twist to it. This is the final video. Final video from the studio here that you've probably become very accustomed to. Now, most of you haven't seen all of it. But the T111 doesn't go all the way to the wall. The wall is actually white. Did you know that? The wall is actually white. Back in the day when we were in the attic of my garage, my standalone garage out there, a bunch of you guys thought I was in the attic of my parents' house, which wasn't quite true. I was in the attic of the Mouse's house over in the unheated, unair-conditioned thing over there. Now, what's not there anymore is, man, there used to be a giant stack of dry canned goods over there that you couldn't really see, because the first rule of prepping is to not talk about prepping, right? I tried briefly the green screen, which is why that orange clip is there. But anyway, so what is changing with the Poplar report? First thing that's changing is I am indeed moving. By the time this video posts, I'm actually going to be out of the studio completely, and this house is going to be empty. It's going to be empty in a couple hours. I'm going to be camping in the house for another day or so before I get on the plane to go to the Philippines. All right, so first question, first concern that I've heard from a lot of you guys is the Poplar report still going to be posting? Yes, Steve Poplar is going to continue posting even as he acquires Mrs. Poplar to join the team. Now, I don't know how much of Mrs. Poplar you're going to see. She is not super on board with being in the camera, at least right away. It's actually kind of hard to do what I do. It was very hard for me at first too. You don't feel like you should be in front of the camera. You're kind of like, why would people listen to me? Like, it's kind of weird. Anyway, you learn how to deal with a lot of that. Anyway, so she may be seen more in front of the camera as time goes by. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm moving to the Philippines. That brings up the second question. Is Steve Poplar like against the United States? No. Very much for the United States. Very much excited about some of the things that are happening in the United States, the revival, the spiritual revival that's happening in the United States amongst young people. It's exciting. The direction that President Trump is taking the country, trying to fix the things that are broken and appeal to heaven, for sure. Yeah, so I'm not anti-United States. So why are you in the Philippines? Some people heard my defense of going to the Philippines as kind of like that I don't like the United States anymore. No, the problem is that we have these laws about immigration, and it makes it very difficult for you to bring your spouse to the United States. So I could marry her or wait to marry her and just wait the whole process here in the United States while she's there. But one, if I marry her, I don't really see us being on different continents as a good idea. That does make sense to me. And waiting for a couple years to get married, also, and going and visiting a bunch of times is kind of not a great plan either, I don't think. So the plan is I move over to her, we get married, we live there until we can get her processed paperwork so that she can come back to the United States. At which time we fully plan on moving to the United States because it is the greatest country on earth. Do I like everything that's happening in the United States and everything that's happened over the last couple decades? No, I don't. Neither do you. But it's okay. It's still the best place. It's the best place out there. I mean, it just is. I mean, there's some places in the United States that are better than other places, and let's all admit that is true. I would not want to move to San Francisco. Yeah. Don't want to go to Portland, Oregon. Nope, don't want to do that. But places like Texas and places like Florida and places like South Dakota are considerably more free and more conscientious than other places, right? All right, so not anti the United States. We are waiting for after we get married, we're going to wait like a couple weeks to get our marriage certificate. We then have to file that with the U.S. Embassy so they recognize the marriage, and then we're going to immediately start our application for a spousal visa to the United States. We're going to do it properly. We're not going to cross any, landmarks illegally or anything like that, okay? We're not going to do that. We're going to do it legally. So I'm going to be, for better words, stuck outside the United States. Not stuck in the Philippines, but stuck outside the United States. So where her passport can go is going to be more the limiting factor than anything else. So the object is not to be in the Philippines necessarily as it is to be with her. So that is kind of what's going on with that. Next concern or question that you guys have had is, what about the flags? And the answer to that is the T111 is going to go away. A friend of mine is going to use that for his shed. It's just T111 stained. It's a very gorgeously stained T111. Oh yeah, amazing. And there's the light you haven't seen before too. You're just seeing all sorts of stuff behind the scenes. So the T111 is going away, but I'm going to take the flags. And I'm not sure how I'm going to work it, but I'm going to hang up the flags, hopefully everywhere we go. And yes, we're going to go places other than the Philippines. We're going to, Lord willing, go to Israel. We're going to go to some places in Africa. We're going to continue our missions work that I'm doing with the 21C International, fantastic ministry that goes out and trains rural pastors to train rural pastors. Now, 21C doesn't train rural pastors. It trains rural pastors to train rural pastors. So we go in and we start the training, then we walk away. We give support. We make sure that it's going in the right direction, and we encourage them, provide trainings to them, but then we let the trainers in the country train other people who then train other people. And these trainings are popping up all sorts of places. And it's wonderful stuff. It's all about just getting them to open up the Bible in a group of people, ask them questions about the passages that they've just read, and have them discuss and to learn from the Bible themselves. So it's not about coming and telling them what the Bible says. It's about letting them learn at their own pace and learn and interpret it for themselves in a group. So anyway, next question. Poplar Bible Studies has not been functioning. We haven't been having Bible studies on Poplar Bible Studies. Some of you guys are bummed about that. I am super sorry. I've been super crazy busy. First rule of Prepping Club is don't talk about the Prepping Club. This house has had a few stockpiles in it. And by stockpiles, I mean I have been spending months giving away, begging with people to take as much food as possible, and food banks and food pantries and individuals. And I've had my projections were for 2 people in this house, we could have survived somewhere around 5 years for 2 people. base plan was to bring in a family that we would live together with, be able to share security and that kind of thing if the worst were to worse, and be able to provide a landing spot for some people who need it, as well as getting some help with what needs to be done here. So the plan was to have enough food for us to have a pretty big ramp up. And so there was a giant stockpile of canned, and that was even just an afterthought, like honestly. So just Keystone ground beef, Keystone beefs. I have so many of them. I gave away I sold about 600 cans of canned chicken. Absolutely insane, of course. And I still think I still have like at least 100 cans of canned chicken. And I'm flying to the Philippines, so I can't do anything with it. So I've been giving it out. I still have a bunch. Anyway, some of it is a little rusty. And that's one thing I would throw out there for you. This isn't meant to be that. I'm going to do that in a future video. But be careful how you're storing your preps. Make sure that you're storing them properly. Canned goods can go bad when they rust. And they can explode. So keep that in mind as well. And just massive amounts of canned goods and everything was in date, was able to be donated to food pantries for the homeless with Washington City Mission down here. Anyway, so there's just been, if you're stockpiling for the apocalypse, just be aware of the fact that if you ever try to move, it's going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The amount of rice and beans that I had here on property is just in buckets, in tubs, in absolutely crazy. Anyway, so I've been busy. That's why we haven't had Poplar Bible studies. And I've also been getting engaged, traveling back and forth between the Philippines and the United States, doing missions work. Yeah, it's been busy. Poplar Bible studies has not happened. As soon as I get to the Philippines, all we have to do is plan for the wedding. So that's going to slow things down, way down. So I say that a little bit in jest. So it's going to slow down a lot. Will it slow down enough for me to continue to do 2 videos on this channel plus Poplar Bible studies? I hope so. I hope so. We'll find out. So I do have an apartment lined up in an area of the Philippines. And we're going to get married. She's going to move in with me after we're married because we're like that. Anyway, waiting for marriage is tough, but it's God's way. If you don't like what I just said, that's what the Bible says. Anyway, Poplar Bible studies will hopefully start back up again soon. I don't have in mind a book of the Bible. I've been kind of playing around with doing the Book of Psalms. So if you have a favorite book of the Bible that you'd like me to cover, I've already covered Daniel and Revelation before a bunch of you guys come up with that. You can watch those already. Check that out with the books of prophecy. Now there's some other books of prophecy that I haven't covered yet. Other books like Psalms. I don't know, haven't thought about doing like 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. Those could be interesting books. Judges, haven't done that. And other books of the Bible. So let me know down in the comments down below if you have a book of the Bible you'd like me to cover, and I will consider those for sure. All right, so this is the last little bit of the studio. I hope that this is not a farewell, but rather a change, a shift. And that, of course, has me thinking about, about you guys and what you want from this channel. And I know a lot of you guys are very, very steadfast about being in the United States and not about going abroad at all. I hear that every time I do go abroad, a whole bunch of you are like, stop going overseas. Don't go anywhere. Stay in the United States. We need you here. I get you. I get where you're coming from. Is that who I am? Is that who God's built me to be? No, I got important missions work to be doing in India, important missions work to be doing in the Philippines, and possibly some other places going forward as well. So I need to be abroad, and that's where God has been steering me, and that's kind of what's happening. But I understand if some people, I mean, this is YouTube. You're free to go just over to the next channel, right? And if you want to go to homesteading in Arizona channel, you can go there. I'm not talking about a particular channel. I'm trying to keep things vague. So it's like, my point is you can go find other people who talk about these kind of things. Do they have exactly the Poplar report, Watchman updates? No, they don't have exactly that. Some people like Southern Prepper One have stuff similar. But you know, I mean, you can go wherever you want. And I really do appreciate that you have found value in what I do here. And I try to make sure that I'm providing that value to you. And one of the reasons why I've always kind of done the updates has been, I didn't want to just be regurgitating the news, reading the news, and then telling you what I think about it. Because there's a lot of channels that do that. I just chomp at the bit to be able to break stories. And how do you break stories when you're keeping up the pace of, I mean, like Pinball out there, he cranks out videos like nobody's business, and he's the benchmark that I went after. And he's a genius, and so he knows so many different things, and it's just like, how do you keep up with that guy? And at the same time, have this idea that you want to break stories. You want to provide information to the community that no other channel is coming up with. And so that's where it really came out with the idea to use you guys to help gather information that maybe other channels, other news sources have not covered. So that's why we really do have the updates and trying to provide something on YouTube that nobody else has. And if we break a story, then it can become something that other channels pick up on, and we now have more information. We really are better off for having the Poplar report than just having somebody sharing their opinion about stuff. So that's always been kind of the thought process, is try to provide real value to you guys. At the same time, also provide you what you want. So, you know, the sugar of what you want, but then also substance. And hopefully you've seen that. Most of you have seen that. That's why you've come back, is that really try to provide value, really try to find those stories that are kind of offbeat that other channels are not finding, get you the news fast, and also breaking some new stuff and staying a little bit ahead of the curve about what's going on with stuff. So if you appreciate that, this channel is going to keep on doing that. In fact, by being over in the Philippines, I'm actually going to be able to do that a little bit better. Because the way the time zones work, I'm actually going to be able to post my videos a little closer to the post dates, so information is going to be a little fresher. The news is going to be a little fresher. So there's actually going to be some advantages to that. We're also going to be able to travel around the world a little bit to some places and get you some unique perspectives out there, which no other real prepping, homesteading channel can provide you at. And I'm going to try to get the Poplar Prepper channel to start posting a little bit more on not building a homestead and hunkering down for what's to come, but a little bit more on the bug out side of things, of how to avoid issues and areas where trouble is brewing, and how to find new areas to go to, and how to pack light so that you can move quickly and get away from the places where the danger is happening. So let me know what you guys think about all that down below. The wedding is November 8th. So we're going to get married November 8th, and I'm super excited about that. Mrs. Poplar, future Mrs. Poplar, is super excited about that too. We're going to be seeing each other shortly, and my family's going to be going out there for the wedding. Our family's going to get to know each other some more, and just when you get to meet her more, you're going to see just how wonderful of a person she is. She's just the kind of person that everybody loves when they meet her. So just she walks into her room and just everyone starts becoming her friend, and she can't really help it because she just can't turn it off. She's just a genuinely nice person. And you know what? We need more of those kind of people. So hopefully I can convince her to be in front of the camera a little bit so that you guys can get to know her too and get to see her bright smile and her just her lovely personality and her lovely person. And her English is fantastic, so you guys won't have any problem hearing and understanding her. So, all right, that's what's going on. So from the studio here that we've been at for the last couple of years, Steve Poplar, signing off.